Hey guys, what's up? It's Looney TNT. Today we're going to go into the Guardian Druid guide. I'm going to show you guys how to survive a fight. I'm going to show you guys some of the rotation. I'm going to show you guys glyphs, macros, the talents. I'm going to show you guys a lot of different things. Hopefully this will help you guys out if you guys are having a little bit of trouble tanking on the Druid, or if you're just new in general at tanking on the Druid. This is going to help you guys out. Make sure you guys stay and watch the whole video to give you guys all the tips. Let's go ahead and get into the guide. So the first thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about some talents. Now, as you guys can see on my talents, there's a couple of ones that you guys can actually choose differently if you want to. Wild Charge is a great ability, but I like Swiftness. Swiftness is good for moving around, getting around. It's pretty good. Gift is one of those ones that can be substituted, but it's just that passive heal that's really, really nice. Especially, if you're helping out the group, if you're going into a heroic and the healer's not as great, and, some people need that little extra tick. Maybe you need that little extra tick. Gift is a really good ability. I like Gift. It's passive also. Typhoon, I love Typhoon for positioning. Positioning for Typhoon is really, really great. You can knock some people back. You can knock them to the side. It's just an extra tool to position the mobs where you want the mobs. Especially if you guys are struggling doing the silver proving grounds. Typhoon is one of those must. Typhoon and Vortex, and that's why I have Vortex on my bar right now, is because when you're doing the proving grounds, when the fire guy comes out, you guys can actually Typhoon, Vortex, the mobs into the fire to have them stay in the fire to get that dot, because they get affected by the dot also. So I like Typhoon. Soul of the Forest, passive ability. Mangle works good for me. I like it. Vortex, like I said, I was using it. This one is a great spell too. Mighty Bash. It's an extra stun. Awesome. Roar is good too. I like Vortex. I like the positioning control. It's just my personal preference. It's not mandatory. I just like the preference of being able to place the mobs where I need to. Dream is good. I like Dream. Heart of the Wild is really good too. Nature's Village is not bad. I like Dream. This one is mandatory, and you'll notice I didn't say a lot of them are mandatory, but this one is mandatory. So what this does is, for every 3 stacks you get, you're able to hit this ability, and it does a decent amount of damage. But what it does is it reduces the damage taken by 15% for 12 seconds. So what that means is, technically, I can keep a 15% damage reduction on me for the entire fight. So that's pretty much what it means. So yes, this is pretty much mandatory. This is almost a bark skin 100% of the time. It's an amazing spell, and it should be used. Alright, so as you guys can see for my glyphs, I have 1 glyph on here. That doesn't mean I run with 1 glyph. It means that I have 2 glyphs that are not here at the moment. Why I did that is because I want to show you guys glyphs are sometimes personal preference, but for this glyph right here, Glyph of Maul, your Maul ability hits 1 additional target for 50% damage. Use it. This is an amazing ability. Don't forget to have it. Anything that hits an extra target is good for tanking because it helps you out all the time. Now, because we have Thrash, it's a little bit different. It's like, well, it's an extra hit. It's extra aggro. Sometimes you have those amazing DPS, or those DPS that don't attack the target that you're on, and they like to attack the other target. Sometimes this helps you out. So, for my glyphs, my advice is to read the glyphs, figure out what you like to do, figure out your gameplay style, because it will just improve over time, and figure out which ones that will be good for you. So that's pretty much my my advice for that. But there's no reason you can't start off with Glyph of Maul. It's a great spell. Okay, how to survive as a Druid, right? Everybody's in Warlords of Draenor are saying, Druids are squishy, they're this, they're that. They're not as squishy as people think. We have a lot of armor, we have a lot of HP, we have a lot of dodge capabilities, we have healing abilities, and we have damage reduction abilities. You just need to know when to use them and when not to use them. So the first thing one we're talking about is we're going to talk about bark skin, one that's always been with us for such a long time. What bark skin does is it reduces the damage taken by 20% for 12 seconds. It's on a 1-minute cooldown, so use it wisely, you know. And if there's a point where you're not using it because you're like, oh, I don't know if I should use it, this next pack is pretty big, and you die, well, you should have used bark skin. Don't be afraid to use bark skin. It's only on a 1-minute cooldown, okay? It's up for 12 seconds. It's going to be up eventually. So let's talk about survival instincts. Survival instincts, it reduces all damage taken by 50%. This is magical and invisible. So it reduces all damage by taken by 50% for 12 seconds, max charge of 2, and it's on a 2-minute recharge timer. So that means for every 1 minute in that 6 seconds, you can be taking 50% less damage. That's amazing. That's really, really good. So don't be afraid to use that. 50% less damage is huge, especially if you're getting bursted or if you know a boss is about to do a really big ability and you messed up and you got stunned and you're going to stand in this hit and you're going to take a lot of damage. Hit that button, okay? Hit that button. You know, maybe little Billy over there pulled 2 giant packs of mobs and they're all running at you and you're like, oh crap, and the tank doesn't, or the healer doesn't see you running over there to get them. Well, thrash them all and hit your survival instincts and help yourself stay alive until the healer can start getting some heals off you. It's just a great spell. I really enjoy it. Don't be afraid to use this spell either. It's only on a 2-minute cooldown, so that means it's only every charge is on a 1-minute cooldown. Now here's the debate. Which one should you use? Savage defense or your heal, right? Your regeneration. This is kind of situational. What your savage defense does, it's kind of like your survival instinct, but it's a lot different because it increases the chance to dodge by 45% for 6 seconds. 45% is a lot of percent. That means with your regular dodge on yourself right now, that every other hit is going to hit you, or you can say every other hit is going to miss you. Whatever you want to do. For 6 seconds, max charge of 2 charges. It's a 12-second recharge. It's good. It costs 60 raids though. If you look over here, your healing ability costs up to 60 rage. So if you have 20 rage, you can heal yourself. That's okay. If you have 60 rage, you can heal yourself. That's okay. So it's one of those things. Are you comfortable with going and blocking every other shot if your healer's going to keep you up, or do you really need some heals? Do you really need some life? Is that extra hit going to kill you, or do you just need some life right now? You know, it's kind of one of those things. Both of them are good though. I like both of them. So that's pretty much, you know, how to survive, and it's not hard. We got some stuff to use, and I think you'll be nice and good. So let's go right into the rotation. What rotation, right? The only really thing is you see this ability right here. Hit that ability 3 times. This ability, that's talent that we chose, hit it once. So this isn't your starter, but let's say we go up to him. I hit it, I get a stack. This monster gets a 2nd stack. This monster has a 3rd stack. And I consume and I take 15% less damage for 12 seconds. Like I said, I can do it again. I can get my stacks. I can wait a second. When that's about to go down, I do it again. Okay? So it's pretty useful. If you see something light up, hit it. It's pretty simple. If you see it light up, hit it. Mangle is a really big ability for us. It hits really hard. That one lit up, so I'll hit it. I don't have no stacks on, so I build my stacks, and then I hit this one. Very simple rotation. Now let's talk about AoE. This is when it gets fun. I'm going to show you guys this way. And the reason I'm hitting low-level targets is because I've trained here for such a long time. These dummies are... I've never trained here to look at my damage. I've always trained here to practice rotation. So the damage output on this isn't a big deal. It doesn't matter. So if you think it matters, it really doesn't. Alright, so here we go. Thrash. Let's AoE a little bit. Yes, that's what I just did. So, Thrash is an ability that hits targets in front of you, to the side of you, kind of, not to the back, but kind of in a, not full U, but maybe like a moon shape, kind of in front of you. What it does is it hits the initial target and then it gives them a bleed. This generates rage, so you will always be able to spam this. You could literally spam this the entire time. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could. Thrash is a fun ability, especially when you got a bunch of people running at you. You can just hit everybody. So I highly suggest using Thrash on those big pulls to get that aggro. If you're starting to lose aggro, make sure to get all the dots on them. Great spell. So it's a lot of fun. You guys can see the rotation. It's a lot of fun. Now let's talk about macros. I'm going to leave these two macros in the description so you guys can copy paste them. These macros are, I feel, really important. It's the macro to transform into bear and the macro to transform into cat. I'm a feral druid also, so I love to swap between both of them. Now obviously I'm not going to go ham in this because I'm tanking, right? But to be able to go into this form and dash or something is really important for me. Going into bear, maybe I have to do some CC, and then I go right back into bear. Okay, so there's a lot of utility that you guys can use, a lot of different stuff. So here's the guide. Hopefully this helped you guys out. There was some very important tips and really fun tips in this guide. If you guys want to, you guys can hit a like. You guys can leave a comment. You guys can ask some questions. If you guys feel there's anything that I did wrong, please leave it in the comments. The only way we're going to get better is by sharing info that we feel is necessary. So share the info. Please, people, take the time out to read the comments as the video is going or whatever, and see what people are saying. See how we can all improve. All right, guys. Like I said, hit that like button, subscribe for more guides, and I'll talk to you guys later.